Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you for watching. This is Mika, your host from dmcx.com, and today we are going to talk about Chris Froome 2020 Pinarello Dogma F12 X Lite. The X Lite standing for extra light. So Chris is 186 cm tall and he is racing on a 56 cm Pinarello Dogma F12 X Lite, which is standing for extra light. It is a 56 cm frame size. So 176 cm is fairly tall, but he got narrow shoulders, and this is very interesting point. Chris is racing with 38 cm or 380 mm handlebar width, and this is kind of rare because most of time 186 cm tall rider usually got wider shoulder or wider handlebar because it's based on the shoulders most of the time. So here is probably or certainly a way to optimize aerodynamism. The aero position is optimized with a narrower handlebar. So 380 is very narrow. I am not a big guy, as you can see, and I use 420 handlebars width. So this is one way of decreasing the drag, because obviously the less you spend energy on fighting with aero and to decrease the drag, the best you decrease the drag, the more efficient you ride and you save your watts. You do improve your riding and you decrease the waste of energy. So that's very smart. It's just with the handlebar width, it's already one trick. And another interesting point is the stem is 130 millimeters long, and the handlebar and saddle drop difference is 150 millimeters or 15 centimeters, which is, well, he's a 186 centimeter tall, so he got long arms, long upper body, so he can flex pretty good. The saddle height measure from the BB center to the top of the saddle. I'm not good at remembering numbers, so I use my sketch to remember. So it's 795 millimeters. So this is again from the center of the bottom bracket to the top of the saddle. And from the distance between the handlebar handle or the center of the handlebar on the top to the saddle tip is 610 millimeters. So that's apparently the setback is 20 millimeters setback on that frame. So again, the frame is 56 centimeters. It is a Pinarello sizing, so it's a bit. It is what we say in the jargon. It is an Italian design geometry. So the numbers are a bit tricky. It's not tricky. Sorry, it's different than American standard of measuring the frame in the sense that it is more using. I'm going to try to explain. What I'm saying is like the Italian way of measuring the frame is a little bit different than American one. So here the frame is 560 millimeters size, which is based on the top tube length. So this is a 565 millimeters top tube from center to center. Center of seat tube to the center of the head tube measure. The head tube length is 150 millimeters, so it is a 15 centimeters head tube height, and the BB drop is 72 millimeters. So this is also an interesting one because it's some few other brands, I think if I remember well, it's Specialized also, have lower BB height compared than what is used to be a standard. It used to be like a 68 millimeters, and here is a 72, so it's also decreasing the drag because you got a lower position of the rider, because everything is based on the center of the bottom bracket when you measure the frame sizing. So when you lower it, like it's 4 millimeters lower, so it's a very small thing, but it's all add ups, and then you got a lower position. Apart of that, the interesting sizing is the rear the chainstay length is 408 millimeters. So the frame does accept tire section up to 28 millimeters tire section. So it makes it a very versatile bike. Again, here, it actually most of the bikes on the UCI Pro Tour accept up to 28 millimeters tire section. And maybe 10 years ago, it was not possible to even dream about putting a 25 millimeters section. So now the trend definitely went for fatter tires. It is very good because it does provide more comfort and you don't lose energy in riding. It's another topic I will develop in another post. And it's, so as I said, it makes it comfortable so you ride longer without, well, you get less tired because it's more comfortable with extra air cushion. That's the idea of it. Right, so now the bike is, obviously the team Ineos is sponsored by Shimano for the components and for the gears and for the wheels. So everything here is Shimano Di2 Dura Ace, it's opposite. It's a Shimano Dura Ace Di2, that's the 9100 series, which means it's an 11 speed group set, and it's not a disc brake. The Ineos team is on rim brakes, and for many reasons, but mostly because if you look carefully at all the bikes of the Pro Tour, the ones which are designed for the teams for fighting for the GC, so general classifications, are all on rim brakes. That's very interesting to observe, and the main reason is because it's first of all is a rotation mass, so the wheels are lighter, and most of Grand Tours are worn in the mountain stage, so you want to have the lightest wheels as possible when you climb. So with the rim brakes, that's definitely lighter than disc brakes. It's marginal, but everything is marginal gain here. That's a game. Like each second is important, and because of this, when you change a wheel, disc wheels versus rim brakes wheels is few seconds faster to change a rim brake type of wheel. So each second is important when you want to win the Tour de France or Vuelta or the Giro. So that's the main reason. It's also more reliable. Like when you crash, when there is a big crash, so disc brakes are much more small parts. It's relying on hydraulic cables fitted into aluminium parts, so you might break the disc hose. So that's also, well, you want to minimize any risk. So that's the reason the bike is super simple. So as I said, it's not only the Team Ineos, you can look at the another GC contenders, it's also all on rim brakes. That's the main reason. And here also, sticking to the classics of the setups, the Shimano wheels used by Chris Froome are the Shimano Dura Ace, the C40, which stands for 40 millimeters rim height, but the real number is 38 millimeters rim height, and it is Tubular's one. Again, it's because it's more efficient and it's lighter, and the comfort of riding is amazing. So Tubular tires provided by Continental, that's the Continental Competition Pro Limited 25 millimeters. That's the the one they use for the whole team and the most of the racing season. And then one particularity of Chris Froome bikes, of the bike setup, are the chainrings. The chainrings are not oval, they are not round, they are asymmetric. That's the shape looks really weird. You would feel like, looking at it, you feel like the bike did crash and it just squeezed it did a bang on the chainring at one spot. Basically, those chainrings are from a company named Ossymetric. It is a company started in south of France, like more than 20 years ago, and the idea is to optimize the shape, to minimize the dead spot. When you ride, at some point you got a dead spot, so this is designed to minimize that dead spot. It is very scientific. It's not just making an oval at one place and try and hope for the best. So believe it or not, Chris Froome does believe it, and he did one full Tour de France with this setup. So if it works for him, it probably works for many more people. But strangely or oddly, we don't see many other riders using it. That's interesting. And the chainring size is a 54 for the outer ring, and I think it's 42 for the inner ring. Let me just double check. Yes, 54, 42. And the cassette is 11 speed. It's starting from 11 up to 30. That's an amazing setup. And obviously for the mountain stage, the chainrings will be smaller. It will be 53, 39. It might be interesting to see how it goes. Power meters, Shimano power meters on the crankset. That's it for the bike. It's nothing. How can we say that? Exotic parts, like something you cannot find on the market or rare or difficult to find. Everything is pretty much standard. As a good rider, make a good result, basically. And the bike overall weight is 7.2 kilograms. Ooh, pronunciation is hard today. You can see all the bike setups on my homepage. You go to dmcx.com and you're gonna get all the details of the bike geometry and the components fitted on the bike. So you got all the backup there. That's it for Chris Froome bike for the 2020 season. Thank you for following me. Do not hesitate to send me any message or request, or I will make sure to reply it or move upon it. Thank you very much.